Okay, so I've had this drone for a couple of months now. I actually purchased it before I went to Mexico. While we were there, I honestly got some crazy shots with this thing. For being so small and compact, you wouldn't think this thing would have this many features packed into it. Like 4K, follow mode, vertical video. There's just so much more, but we're gonna get into all that in this video, so let's get into it.
No problem.
All right, so a new thing they introduced into the DJI Mini 3 is actually vertical shooting, which is great for either Instagram or like YouTube now has YouTube Shorts, which is a cool feature that I'd never really had in a drone personally. The last drone I owned was the DJI Mini 2. And yeah, this one just has so many new features in it. So it shoots 4K at 60 FPS, but also 1080 at 120 FPS. And if you did end up getting the RC remote, it actually has 1 GB of storage in here, which is pretty sweet that they have that. But I'm gonna talk about this controller a little bit more at the end. So the build quality, it's light, compact, I like the way that it looks actually. Like the whole design is a lot better than the actual DJI Mini 2. I just like it a lot more. It's a little bit more sleek, you know? So they did stick with the factor of being under 250 grams. So if you don't know, I don't know how it is everywhere else, but here in Canada, you cannot fly a drone that is over 250 grams without a drone license. So that was like kind of a big reason why I picked up the DJI Mini 2, just because I was worried, but I've never flown a drone before. So now I just kind of realized nobody really cares if you're doing that. It's not like people are looking for people flying drones, at least not where I'm located. As you can tell, the arms on here are a lot longer than the DJI Mini 2s. I think that gives it a little bit more control, which I really like. Another thing is it's so small, it could actually fit in your pocket, which is a huge plus for me. Sometimes I just jump on my Super 73, go for a rip, throw this thing in my pocket, and I could just get some nice footage. So it has a 1/1/3 sensor, which is slightly larger than the DJI Mini 2 with an aperture of f1.7, which is wild for such a small drone. And a larger aperture means more light could come through so that you could get better low light footage. Also, you could shoot in Cinelike or D-Cinelike or normal mode. So D-Cinelike is a flatter profile, so with less color, where you could mess around a little bit more in the edit and actually get better colors out. So a little bit more dynamic range. So this thing does have an increased battery life. Also, I think they only increased it by like 3 minutes or something, but you know, that could help if your battery is about to die and you got to rally back to where you're at so you don't actually lose it. For me, I haven't typically ran out of battery. My DJI Mini 2, I owned two batteries. This one I only own one. And a quick little tip, try to plan your shots out before you throw your drone up. Know what you kind of want to get, and if you do that, your battery is going to last a lot longer. You're not up there flying all over, trying to get all these different shots. You just know exactly where you're going. And for me, when I do that, I actually haven't ran out of battery. I always leave with at least half battery left still, just because I know exactly what I'm about to do, right? The camera is mounted on a 3-axis gimbal, which provides smooth and stable footage, even when it's flying in windy conditions. So I've actually took this up where it was pretty windy when I was in Mexico. I didn't have much trouble, but you could definitely see it was having a little bit of trouble. It wasn't horrible by all means, but if you're somewhere where it's super windy, like, I don't know, Saskatchewan, I don't know, it will be a little bit tougher for this thing because it's so small and compact in weight, right? So it has an impressive range of 12 kilometers, so you can explore and capture footage from afar. I've never really went farther than that. Sometimes I'll just throw this out the window and just fly it from my couch, which is pretty sweet, to be honest. But I never get that far, and I don't know if that's because I'm indoors and it kind of blocks the reception, but I've had a couple times where it just disconnected and I had to run out onto the deck and wait till it reconnected. But yeah, I haven't gotten farther than 12 kilometers. It says 12 kilometers. I never go that far though. And yes, the 4K. So 4K, I shoot everything on this thing 4K. For the most part, when I'm shooting vlogs, I'll only do 1080. But Everything I do with this drone, I do 4K. So if sometimes I need to zoom in a little bit, it does have its own zoom, but it is a digital zoom. But if I'm doing it in post and I got to zoom in, I don't actually lose that much resolution. Another cool thing about this is it has a lot of intelligent flight modes, which are really sweet. So active track, it does have active track in it. I've never used this that much. Also quick shots, which lets you capture cinematic footage with just the tap of a button. So it's pretty sweet how you could do that, especially for beginners if you've never touched a drone before. This helps a ton. Hyperlapse. So the hyperlapse, probably my favorite thing, one of the biggest reasons why I actually wanted to purchase this. What hyperlapse is, it's pretty well a time lapse from one point to another. Obstacle avoidance is another new feature in this thing compared to the DJI Mini 2. Another huge reason why I wanted this. I had a couple pretty decent wipeouts with the DJI Mini 2, pretty bad crashes. So obstacle avoidance was something I was blown away with wanting to get. One thing though, I think you should still be a little bit aware of your surroundings when you're using this obstacle avoidance. I had a crash with this also because I was a little bit too dependent on it. I don't know what happened. I think maybe the branch was a little bit too thin or something. It didn't catch it in time. I was going too fast. I don't know what happened. Maybe it was off. I'm not too sure. Anyways, just keep that in mind. But it is nice because it helps you fly with a little bit more confidence. So the RC remote is huge game changer for me. I hated using my phone when I was flying this, mostly because I go out to shoot by myself and I'm usually have my headphones in listening to music, or else I'm texting or doing whatever I gotta do. So having this and not having to actually pull my phone out, set it up every time, I could just pull this out of my bag, get going, and you know, throw it up, get some good footage. And the screen on this is actually unreal. Like, it's so clear, the definition, everything is perfect. You can turn the brightness up and down. There's so much in here that I like about it. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments and I'll make a video about this too. Okay, what I like about this thing. So the biggest thing I personally like has got to be the obstacle avoidance and the hyperlapse. So obstacle avoidance has helped me quite a few times, but like I was saying a little bit earlier, I did have one good crash. I'll put that link to that video if you want to check that out. I was vlogging and as soon as I crashed, I was like, no more vlogging, I'm done, I'm going home. But yeah, that was, other than that, it works pretty well. Or it does have a couple different modes with obstacle avoidance where it'll either just immediately stop or else do a fly over pass by. Hyperlapse, I thought that was such a cool feature to have on here. I got some really nice shots when I was in Mexico. The biggest thing that I really like this thing for is actually for my vlogs. So I like to do storytelling, and when I start out a vlog, I like to show my location, and what better way than a drone. Also, a big thing why I purchased this was the follow mode, like I was saying too. I do want this for my Super 73. I want to see how that works. If I could just rip and it could just follow me, get some nice footage, that would be decent. It's also so small, compact, fits in my bag, fits in my pocket. It's just like the perfect drone for me. I'm not crazy into photos or anything. I mostly just want this for my vlogs and when I get some nice shots for Instagram or shorts or whatever I'm doing. And this works perfect for that because it's just easy to get amazing shots even if you are a beginner. Like, I've got nothing but amazing shots from this thing. And it's just fun to use. It's just fun to go rip around for half an hour. And being able to use this at night is, oh, off the hook. A little bit off the chain, off the rails, awesome. Not gonna sugarcoat it anyway. If it's super windy where you're at, this thing may not be able to handle it. I'm not too sure what the exact wind conditions have to be. I've never had that much trouble with it. I've noticed it having a little bit trouble flying, but nothing too bad. Another thing I really dislike about this is it doesn't come with any accessories, like nothing. It doesn't come with a travel case. Like, you can buy the fly kit, but come on, who's gonna spend that much more unless you're like actually need it. It just doesn't come with too much other stuff. Like, it's just like this and the controller, but I guess that's just me complaining to complain. It would just be nice to have a travel case with it, right? Would I recommend this to you? Yes and no. For somebody that is just doing this for a hobby, wanting to get into this kind of stuff, I'd say just go for the DJI Mini 2. That one also has 4K, has a lot of great features. Who I would recommend this one for? Also, if you're just doing it for a hobby, but you plan to keep moving forward with it, for me, this is like has everything I need. It like ranges in that where you have the starter drone, but also you could get professional footage, right? I don't see myself going any higher than just like a mini, especially this one, the Pro, DJI Mini 3 Pro. I don't see myself needing anything else. But yeah, honestly, I would recommend this if you have the money to spare and you just want to get into drones. This is 100% the drone to go for, especially with obstacle avoidance. For people that are new to this, it'll help you out a ton. Anyways, that's all I got for this product, but we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, peace.